Today is October 23rd. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today on the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 7, Working with Others. We'll be reading page 100. At the 12 and 12, we will almost wrap up Step 12 by reading page 124, the second half. And of course, we'll read today's 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Once again, we've been given a brand new set of 24 hours. Another opportunity to work this program, to right our wrongs, to make those direct or living amends, whatever it might look like to you. It's another opportunity to change for the better today. And that is always an exciting thing. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. Alright, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday's reading in the Big Book, one of the most powerful lines that stood out to me is on the top of page 100. When working with another person, it's important to emphasize that his recovery is not dependent on other people. But right here, the top of 100, it is dependent upon his relationship with God. So with that, let's finish off page 100. Both you and the new man must walk day by day in the path of spiritual progress. If you persist, remarkable things will happen. When we look back, we realize the things which came to us when we put ourselves in God's hands were better than anything that we could have planned. Follow the dictates of a higher power, and you will presently live in a new and wonderful world, no matter what your present circumstances. When working with a man and his family, you should take care not to participate in their quarrels. You may spoil your chance of being helpful if you do. But urge upon a man's family that he has been a very sick person and should be treated accordingly. You should warn against arousing resentment or jealousy. You should point out that his defects of character are not going to disappear overnight. Show them that he has entered upon a period of growth, and ask them to remember, when they are impatient, the blessed fact of his sobriety. If you have been successful in solving your own domestic problems, tell the newcomer's family how that was accomplished. In this way, you can set them on the right track without becoming critical of them. The story of how you and your wife settled your difficulties is worth any amount of criticism. Out of the 12 and 12 run, Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Second half of 124. Still more wonderful is the feeling that we do not have to be especially distinguished among our fellows in order to be useful or profoundly happy. Not many of us can be leaders of prominence, nor do we wish to be. Service gladly rendered, obligations squarely met, troubles well accepted or solved with God's help, the knowledge that at home or in the world outside, we are partners in a common effort, the well understood fact that in God's sight all human beings are important, the proof that love freely given surely brings a full return, the certainty that we are no longer isolated and alone in a self-constructed prison, the surety that we need no longer be square pegs and round holes, but can fit and belong in God's scheme of things. These are the permanent and legitimate satisfactions of right living for which no amount of pomp and circumstance, no heap of material possessions could possibly be substitutes. True ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. "24 hours a day, October 23rd. AA thought for the day. Third, I have learned to be honest. What a relief. No more ducking or dodging. No more tall tales. No more pretending to be what I am not. My cards are on the table for all the world to see. I am what I am, as Popeye used to say in the comics. I've had an unsavory past. I am sorry, yes, but it cannot be changed now. All that is yesterday and is done. But now my life is an open book. Come and look at it if you want to. I'm trying to do the best I can. I will fail often, but I won't make excuses. I will face things as they are and not run away. Am I really honest? Meditation for the day. Though it may seem a paradox, we must believe in spiritual forces which we cannot see, more than material things which we can see, if we are going to truly live. In the last analysis, the universe consists more of thought or mathematical formulas than it does of matter as we understand it. Between one human being and another, only spiritual forces will suffice to keep them in harmony. These spiritual forces we know because we can see their results, although we cannot see them. A changed life, a new personality, results from the power of unseen spiritual forces working in us and through us. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may believe in the unseen. I pray that I may be convinced by the results of the unseen, which I do see. Daily Reflection, October 23rd. What we know best. Shoemaker, stick to thy last. Better do one thing supremely well than many badly. That is the central theme of this tradition. 5. Around it, our society gathers in unity. The very life of our fellowship requires the preservation of this principle. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 150. The survival of AA depends upon unity. What would happen if a group decided to become an employment agency, a treatment center, or a social service agency? Too much specialization leads to no specialization, to frittering of efforts, and finally, to decline. I have the qualifications to share my sufferings and my way of recovery with the newcomer. Conformity to AA's primary purpose ensures the safety of the wonderful gift of sobriety. So my responsibility is enormous. The life of millions of alcoholics is closely tied to my competence in carrying the message to the still suffering alcoholic. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. And man, this is another hard day to pick one. I may have to pick at least two to talk about that really just hit me hard here today. I love the reading out of the 12 and 12, just that one paragraph. It's a long couple of sentences, but they're so powerful. Still more wonderful is the feeling that we do not have to be specially distinguished among our fellows in order to be useful or profoundly happy. That's it. We don't have to be XYZ amount of years sober to be useful to others. Absolutely not. We don't have to have 30 years in order to be happy. No, that's not what this is saying at all. It's the opposite. Right here, the well-understood fact that in God's sight, all human beings are important. And I love this last line that we read in the 12 and 12. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. Live usefully. There's the service work, purpose-driven part of it. And walking humbly, I guess for me, that's like, hey, admitting I'm not really in control. But there is one who is. And thank God it's not me. And then the grace of God. The fact that I'm sober today, for me, it's confirmation of God's grace. And that kind of leads into the 24 hours a day reading about seeing the results of the unseen. As I've said many times before, I believed in a higher power before sobriety, but seeing the results of 32 years of hidden secrets and resentments, insecurities and fears, seeing them eventually melt away when working the steps. That bag of rocks that I carried around all my life. When I did the 12 steps with a trusted friend, and of course continue to do them with the maintenance steps, right? I let those bags of rocks go. Now don't get me wrong, I can still pick up those rocks, or at least one or two of them every now and then, but I notice it. And that's why 10, 11, and 12 really helped me to just go, wait a minute, I don't need that, and put that rock back down. Or if I see a whole new collection of rocks I'm thinking about picking up, realize, you know what, I don't need those. I don't need to add those to my collection. I'm good. But the point I'm trying to make is that I see tangible, concrete results of my higher power working. And because I see it and others see it, like my wife, she'll call me out on some of the things like, that would have bothered you 10 years ago. Because I see the change and the progress in my life, not perfection, definitely not perfection. Lord, I got a long way to go. But because I see the progress in my life, I have so much gratitude and joy and happiness because I've seen the results from the unseen. I believe in my higher power even more. I hope you all have a great one. If you are sober today, you're a miracle. Please understand that. And if you're not sober, you're also a miracle because you're alive today. You have the opportunity to make the first step toward change, whether that's to finally admit you have a problem with alcohol or any other addiction, to talk to a trusted friend about what you're going through, to decide to put down the bottle, whatever it might be. You have the opportunity to take that first step today, to attend a fellowship, whatever it might be. You have the opportunity today to make that first step toward a new life, and you don't have to do it alone. The very first word in the steps is we. So get the support you need. So with that, my friends, if we are given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.